kick, and Western has the plus 35-yard line. Well, there were two unsportsmanlike conduct penalties against Central on the extra point, leads to an onside kick, and Western has it. The plus 35-yard line. Well, there were two unsportsmanlike conduct penalties against Central on the extra point, leads to an onside kick, and Western has it.
Did I play that twice just for you? I did. Welcome. This is Interesting to See, daily sports podcast about news, narratives, takes, and gambling, and my microphone is all over the place. It's going to piss me off today, but that's okay. I will persevere for you folks. Coming up on the show today, Odell Beckham and Aaron Rodgers are all we can talk about, but we haven't really talked about the association, as they call it. So we're going to talk about the association and Zion Williamson, who's a freak of nature athlete, just honestly one of the cooler athletes in professional sports. He is hurt. Something is wrong with him, and he needs to get back into shape. And Shaq and Charles Barkley, two fellas who know a little something about, I'm assuming, the finer things in life, like things that taste good in the South, fried chicken, okra. I'm not sure. Is Shaq from Louisiana? I don't really know. Regardless, Shaq and Charles Barkley noticed Zion Williamson warming up. He's not ready to go, but he's dressing for the games, and he's ready to warm up. He's trying to get back into shape. So let's hear what they had to say about exactly what kind of shape he's in now. Charles, Shaq, can we hear from you two fellas?
So that's the action that's happening tonight. Not going to lie, we saw some footage of Zion Williamson that caught your guys' attention.
Yeah.
And I'd like to see it now. So this is Zion warming up. We don't have him. It could be another 2-3 weeks. But Chuck, you had a visceral reaction to this.
It looked like me and Shaq had a baby. What they gonna do, man? I look like
One more time.
A visceral reaction to this.
it looked like me and Shaq had a baby.
He does look fat, guys. He looks so fat. He looks fat. And Charles Barkley goes on to tell the story about how Moses Malone called him fat and lazy when he was in Philadelphia, and it changed his career. It helped him get in shape. And then the third guy on the set, I always forget the third guy on the set's name. He's the annoying dude who likes UNC. Yeah, he said, this is going to make me mad. I'm going to Google it really quick. Inside the NBA cast. I have Kenny Smith. See, I knew that. I knew it was Kenny Smith. Guys, I'm still in football shape. Why did we start in October? This is so stupid. Kenny Smith said that you don't get in shape by playing basketball. You get in shape to play basketball. I agree with all of that, of course. That makes tons of sense to me, et cetera, et cetera. But, man, he looks so fat, guys. All right, let's talk about some football. The opening highlights of the show were Maction, Central Michigan, and Western Michigan. Western scored a touchdown. And then there was an unsportsmanlike conduct penalty or something on Central, and so they moved it to the 35-yard line. And as is tradition in Maction, there was an onside kick on the first kickoff of the game for Western Michigan, which really set the table for Maction throughout the week. And I've never really been into Maction except for when I was in college and thought I was going to be a sports broadcaster, but it was really fun. A lot of people hitting the overs. It was a great time to bet. Maction in the over is something like 61-23 or something in overs on weekday games, which is hilarious to me. I really like it. Big news yesterday, of course. It continues to unfold, the Henry Ruggs situation. The legal aspect of Las Vegas and Las Vegas County in Nevada said that there's no suspicion Henry Ruggs, they have him doing it. They had the car going over 150 miles per hour, and that's been scientifically confirmed. I'm not sure how they do that, but I know Vegas has got cameras and things everywhere. The sheriff's department said they had never encountered a case where they had a confirmed speed of over 150 miles an hour. I'm from that part of the world, and I know plenty of people that go down to the desert and get well over 120 miles an hour, but not in town. That's really discouraging stuff from Henry Ruggs. And yeah, so they have him essentially. He faces minimum of 2 years in prison. That's a minimum if it goes to trial and he is convicted. I'm sure he'll plead. I don't really know. I know that the woman was traveling with the dog. The dog has also died, which has got people really upset. It's just like another cherry on top of the sadness of this. But Derek Carr had some comments that were pretty poignant, and Derek Carr is a prominent Christian, of course, and it was kind of very hard to think this way if your only relation to this story was the young woman who passed away. But Derek Carr had this to say regarding his teammate Henry Ruggs yesterday.
Have you had a chance to talk to Henry yet?
No. Honestly, with what we were told, I just didn't know if we were able to. Haven't reached out. I will always be here for him. that won't change, and I'll prove that over the course of time to him, not to anybody else. But he needs people to love him right now. He's probably feeling a certain type of way about himself right now, and he needs to be loved. And if no one else will do it, I'll do it.
That's the encouraging right thing to say from Derek Carr. Very forgiving and communicative attitude right there from Derek Carr. That was nice to say. I was making the rounds on the internet yesterday. Thursdays are usually our scandal days, so let's get to the NFL scandal of scandals. So this is the best story of all time. Aaron Rodgers tested positive for COVID. He didn't test positive for COVID. He tested positive for SARS coronavirus novel 2. So that's just me. Well, actually, you guys. Aaron Rodgers, in the beginning of the season, when everybody understood that people who were vaccinated and unvaccinated against SARS-2 were going to be treated differently, Aaron Rodgers was asked point blank, "Are you vaccinated?" And he said, quote, "I'm immunized." Well, cracks knuckles. It turns out that when he tests positive for SARS-2, which can cause COVID-19, Aaron Rodgers has to be treated as if he's unvaccinated. That's because, according to the league, he's unvaccinated, and he's unvaccinated according to the league because he's unvaccinated. But he's immunized. Now, it's coming to light that during the offseason, Aaron Rodgers applied to the National Football League to have alternative homeopathic therapies count as vaccination. Some people have dug into quotes that Shailene Woodley has given in subsequent weeks. We're pretty sure that Aaron Rodgers and her just ate some weird mud. I'm not joking about this. So here's the douchey comment asked if he's been immunized or not. Ready?
Are you vaccinated, and what's your stance on vaccinations?
Yeah, I've been immunized.
No. Aaron, and people are pissed. So the fascinating part about this, we can get out of here for now. The fascinating part about this is that Jordan Love was drafted to replace him. Jordan Love is from Utah State. He did not play very well at Utah State, and he did not play very well in practice last year. He was the third-string quarterback, and he didn't really play at all because there was no preseason last year, so we didn't really see him in any games. He didn't get any reps or anything. So as a result of that, nobody knows if he's good. But he can throw the ball a mile. Apparently, he's got a better arm than Josh Allen and Patrick Mahomes, which is preposterous. So now, Jordan Love is going to get the start against the Kansas City Chiefs on Sunday. And actually, Aaron Rodgers, according to COVID protocol within the National Football League, is not eligible to return to the facility as a member of the Green Bay Packers until Saturday, November 13th. They have a game on Sunday, November 14th. So it's possible that he could be out 2 weeks because he won't be able to practice, right? I think it's entirely possible that we may have seen the last of Aaron Rodgers in a Green Bay Packer uniform. I don't think that's impossible. Of course, the Rodgers memes are out of control. He got hit on a play last Thursday night against the Cardinals, and his helmet came up on his face and his chin strap's over his nose, and that's been a great internet meme for weeks now, or for days now. It's about a week and a half, and now that he tested positive for COVID, it is making the rounds again, and it is hilarious. But Jordan Love will get the start against the Kansas City Chiefs. The real story here is that State Farm Insurance has to be pissed. Absolutely pissed. They were finally going to have their guys, Patrick Mahomes versus Aaron Rodgers, and it didn't come to pass. They must be absolutely outside their minds. What time's the game, you say? It's the standalone afternoon game. I believe it'll be Tony Romo and Jim Nantz, but I can't be sure. The other part of this is that Aaron Rodgers has not been following COVID protocol for the unvaccinated, like having to wear masks literally always, like on the sideline during games, because he said he's immunized. So we're going to find out if the NFL ever punished him, if the Packers punished him, or if anyone is ever going to punish him. And what a great rift and poker piece here for the Green Bay Packers, who don't want to deal with Aaron Rodgers anymore. And if Jordan Love, who looked actually pretty good this preseason after not looking like a real professional athlete last year, see if Jordan Love could be the starter for the Green Bay Packers. Other weird news in the National Football League: OBJ and Baker Mayfield hate each other. This is so funny. After that video was posted by Odell Beckham Jr.'s dad of all the times that OBJ was open, apparently he did not edit the video together. I must retract my statement. He just posted the video and then had a bunch of stupid hashtags in the tweet. After that video came out, OBJ and Baker and everybody had a big falling out, and now OBJ was excused from practice, and the Browns told the team to prepare mentally to move on without OBJ on the team. He will go to waivers. the Detroit Lions have the first waiver priority, but he doesn't have to play for them. I guess they just claim him and they own his rights, so they could claim him. He can say no, and then they could just be like, oh, that sucks. Well, you're not playing football this year. I don't know how that would work. We'll figure it out. It's all going to play itself out. It'll all play itself out, I suspect. Who's to say? Got another weird story. The James Madison University is being punished by the Colonial Athletics Association, which is their conference. The Colonial Athletic Association will not allow James Madison's teams to compete for league championships this year if the school accepts an invitation to join another conference. So the Colonial is the conference in all of college sports that's putting their foot down. It's like, you know what, you want to leave, you want to cheat on us, well, you can't play in this league. Which is quite the retribution. I think that would be interesting if the Big 12 did that too. So Oklahoma is going to win the Big 12. If the Big 12 is like, you can't win the championship. That would be hilarious. I love this move from the Colonial. I also love James Madison telling their athletes who are seniors, like, yeah, sorry, I don't care. It's about football, and I don't really care. It's about football. We need to move up, and which is true. It just is. So I don't know what else to say. That is the Colonial a 1AA? That's a 1AA, right? Well, James Madison's located in Virginia. They have some pretty good recruits. They piss some teams off occasionally. Them and Old Dominion occasionally have some interesting games. But I love that from both sides. I love James Madison being like, yeah, it's about football. I don't care about you. And I also love the Colonial putting their foot down. That's what you have to do. That is absolutely what you have to do. There's really nothing else to be said about that. Thursday night football tonight, the New York Football Jets and the Indianapolis Colts. You know who the best player in the league was last Sunday? Mike White, the backup quarterback for the New York Jets. Not joking. He won the AFC Offensive Player of the Week. He had something like 400 yards. It was the most yards in an NFL debut for a player since Cam Newton in 2011, I believe. The Colts are favored by 10.5, which is fascinating because the Carson Wentz trade is getting weird. The Colts are, I don't know, below 500. Let's go with NFL standings. See, we should do facts. Facts should be important here. Okay, where are the Colts? The Colts are in second place in their division. The Titans are 6-2. The Indianapolis Colts are 3-5. That has them quite a few games back in that division. In fact, the Titans have 6 wins. The other 3 teams in the division, the Colts, Jags, and Texans, have 5 combined, which is hilarious. When the Colts traded for Carson Wentz, they traded him for a conditional first-round pick. That first-round pick's condition is Carson Wentz must play 75% of the snaps in the Colts season. We are now at about 50% of total snaps played. 8 games have been played. There are 17 on the season, right? If the Colts suck this year, then the Eagles are going to get perhaps a top 10, top 15 draft pick. If the Colts sit Carson Wentz, the Eagles will get a pick much closer to, say, 37 to 45. If you're the Colts, you cannot give the Eagles your first-round draft pick when you know you're not going to make the playoffs. Right now, the playoff picture is as follows. The Raiders are going to be in the playoffs. The Ravens are in the playoffs. The Bengals are in the playoffs. The Titans are in the playoffs. The Chargers are in the playoffs. And the Chiefs or Broncos are in the playoffs. Perhaps the Browns or the Steelers as well. They're not going to the playoffs. At a certain point, they're going to have to bench Carson Wentz and just tank. Because the Eagles, the ironic part about this is last year in Week 17, the Eagles purposely tanked so that they could get a better draft pick. They sat their backup quarterback. So they sat Wentz, and then they sat Hurts so that something called a Nate Sudfeld could play, and then they lost to Washington, and that triggered a whole bunch of crap. Many, many think pieces will be written about that particular tank job this offseason. But we look at the gambling lines. We shall persist. Mike White had a bunch of statistical craziness happening last week. The Jets won the game. He's going to start again because it's Thursday night football. I would not bet on anything to do with any parts of this game. None of it. This game scares the crap out of me. I will, however, play DFS. I love Mike White in DFS. I like Ty Johnson, the running back from the Lions in Maryland. He's a Jets running back. I love him. Marlon Mack wasn't traded. I think I like Marlon Mack. Pittman, the receiver from Indianapolis, he's a good guy to have on DFS, but I'm not betting a dime on this game. The spread is 10.5 for the Colts. The over-under is 46. I'm trying to do math. Okay, so 10, so it's 11. 46 minus 11. I'm going to make you listen to me do this math, and I really do not care. So 46 divided by 2 is 23. 11 divided by 2 is 5.5. So that means it's 28 to 18. I did it. 28-18 is what Vegas is predicting. That's the spread. Oh my God, I'm such a genius. Aren't you so glad you tuned in for this? Aren't you so glad you tuned in for this? All right, let's just check on Zion Williamson one more time.
Attention, and I'd like to see it now. So this is Zion warming up. We don't have him. It could be another 2-3 weeks, but Chuck, you had a visceral reaction.
Visceral reaction.
Looked like me and Shaq had a baby.
Buster Posey announcing his retirement today. One of the greatest catchers of our generation. What a great career, Busty. Congratulations. Interesting to see. We'll be back better than ever tomorrow morning reviewing Thursday Night Football, college football, and preparing you for the NFL and college weekend. Like, rate, review, subscribe. It helps me out. Make your friends and family do it as well. It's Christmas season. Implied giving is part of the gig.